Looks like I'm live. I don't know if anyone can hear me or not, but I have something interesting to show here. My channel is actually about archaeology and about some of the things that I really like. But one thing that I really like and I do a lot with my family and kids is actually go on hikes. And we went on this hike here in Utah. We live in Utah. Um, and on this hike, I was with my kids. My son is 8, and it's in a property, my in-laws property in the Tooele County. If anyone knows Utah, you probably know Utah used to be a lake. Most of Utah was covered by the Bonneville Lake, and that was, over 30, about 30,000 years ago. We have a lot of uh, fossils in Utah, even up in the mountains. The elevation that we found some of these, it was about, I would say, 7,000 feet, above sea level. And we found a lot in their property. And I brought some just for the fun of it. And honestly, I am not an expert in fossils. I'm actually an engineer. I don't do anything with archaeology. That's just a hobby of mine. So I read a lot about, ancient civilizations and things like that. But here's what we found, on this hike. My son said, Data, that rock looks interesting. Looks like there's something on it. And I'm sure you can see, some of these fossils. I don't know what they're called. If anyone knows, that would be great. If you can tell me. But I have dozens and dozens of rocks that we collected with these fossils. So I have some here that I will show. This is my first time doing a live, by the way, guys. So I don't know if there are comments. I don't know what's going on there. So maybe we'll pop here on the phone and I'll be able to see if there's any comments. And if you know the name of any of these, please let me know. Let me show you one that I really like over here. And you guys probably gonna be able to spot it right away if there's anyone seeing it. So I saw this one and I noticed, I don't know what kind of rock this is, but look at this. This is very clear. A shell. Look at that. This is so, so fantastic how we actually were able to find this just as we were going up this hike, on the mountain. A lot of rocks, loose rocks there, especially after the snow. This hike was actually in the spring, and we found. I have a lot here that I'm gonna show today. Hopefully, more people will be able to see. And if you wanna check my channel afterwards, I'd be grateful for that. But if you know the name of any of these, obviously it's a type of shell or clam, right? Um, but then we have these ones that look like a, I want to say like almost like um, a little crawdad, whatever it is. Look at this. It looks like a, let me see if I can focus it better. Oh, right there. Um, yeah. I don't know if the camera on the phone can focus it at all, but I have some more that I'm going to share here. Oh, thank you for the like and the comment there. Look at that. Let me try this other one now. This, I think, is some type of uh, aquatic life or a plant, right? As you can see here, it looks like a type of leaf, and then there is more. This one is actually filled with this little fiber type of thing. And look at these strings. Oh, I wish I could show it better. Right here. Yeah. So, anyways, let me get some other ones to show you guys. But again, this is probably one of my favorites, right? Fossils that we found on this hike. And of course, we have the little clam over here. Whoa, right there. And let me see if I have anything. Oh yeah, look, I'm gonna. This one was also interesting. You can see there's something over here. It's pretty long. It looks like a worm. Um, and then on the other, oh yeah, this one is very small. I wish I could show it, but it's just like a snail type of shell. It goes circular, right? But look on the other side, and I think that's the coolest thing. It sticks out over here, as you can see. It's another type of clam that we found, Look, I haven't even washed this. I should have scrubbed this first. Maybe I'm going to make another video sometime to show some of these fossils a little cleaner, and I'll try to get myself a little educated as to what they actually are and their names. But look at this. This is another shell that fossilized over there. Um, and we found a bunch of them. Here's another one, same thing, another fossilized shell. And I don't even know what to do with them. Have a bunch now. I feel like I should be selling them on eBay if anyone would buy, or maybe, send them to some of the subscribers here. But here's one of them, right, that I think is super cool. Excuse me. I have a big one. This one has some interesting things. This is like a worm. I don't know what kind of um, creature this was, but it fossilized over here. And maybe we find some other things on this one. Yeah, this one has just that. Let me get some other ones over here. So shells, we have a bunch. This is another one. This is very clearly right. It's even in the shape of a shell still. And it's impressive because for those who don't know, Utah used to be underwater. About 30,000 years ago, there was a lake, and this lake was called Bonneville Lake. And Bonneville Lake covered most of Utah, and it was very deep, almost like an ocean over here. It's one of those mega lakes. You probably have heard of some of these lakes in the Sahara that covered, most of the Sahara, or like 50% of the Sahara. But here's again, look at this awesome fossils that we found on this hike. I wish I could find a better way to focus. Maybe I'll learn a little better next time I do a live. This is the first time I'm doing a live ever. But I feel like I could send this to people. I wanted to try to make some money and sell on eBay or something. But yeah, look over here. Clearly some leaves. I have so many more. I have like two buckets, those Home Depot buckets in my garage, full of these fossils that we found on this hike. And honestly, if you go to Utah, there are a lot of places where you can hike and look for fossils. These ones happen to be in my property or my in-laws' property, and they're actually very fascinating. Okay, so I just actually wanted to show you guys some of these fossils. I'll probably end this very quickly. But one thing, if you know the name of, I wish I could focus better. I'll post a picture later of this one because I don't know what it's called, but it's clearly, it's almost like a wing type of thing, some type of crustaceous, I guess, that fossilized over here. It's very clear, very good. But on the same rock, we have more other fossils over here, right? There, I can't quite identify them because I'm not a specialist. But yeah, let me see some other ones here. Move this around. Whoa, so much going on here. Okay, so this one, I was showing this one earlier. Um, Here, first of all, I don't know what it is. If it was an air pocket, but it's just like a worm shape on this one. But what's cool about this rock is not what's on this side, is what's on the other side of this rock. And again, this was found in Utah. There is one over here that's very small and probably not visible. We probably only see as a dot. Maybe I should get a magnifying glass for this so you guys would see better. But it's like a spiral, like those conches you see in the ocean and you pick them up, right? But what's cool, it's on the other side of this rock, and I'm going to show you guys in just a second. I'm looking for some other patterns or some other creatures. Oh yeah, look, this darker one. Oh, I hope I can show it in a way that you show these little crevices that we have over here. Um, Maybe I should get something to point with, and that's what I'm gonna do, so you guys can see better, because it's clearly a shell as well over there of sorts. So I'm gonna get a pointer over here so we can see it better. Do I have a pen or something? Maybe not. Okay. So anyway, so I'm gonna flip this rock here and gonna see what's on the other side. First of all, I'm covering with my hand the surprise. But on this side, I have to wash this. But there's a lot going on over here. Look at this one, for instance, this fossil. And guys, I found this in a hike with my kids and my wife. And then we, in my in-laws property. And we found so many of these rocks. I have buckets and buckets. And here is the cool thing as well, fossilized clam or shell. You can see clearly as well. So let me see. And these we found as we went on this hike here in Utah. If you're just getting here, a fossil and here as well. This, the camera doesn't show a lot of details. A lot of little marks over here and over here as well. So clearly another fossil, another type of shell or clam. But the coolest one is what I'm going to show you guys next. So let me put this aside over here for a moment. And the one you want to see is really this one. I have a couple here that are really nice and very clear to see. This one, for instance, if I rub my finger, you can see, a lot better. This is fossilized, some type of aquatic vegetation, aquatic plant. In Utah, 30,000 years ago, if you Google it, Utah was covered by a massive or a mega lake, and this lake was called Bonneville Lake. And in this Bonneville Lake, we had all kinds of sea creatures. That's why in Utah, when you go on hikes 11,000 above feet above sea level, you can find fossils over there. And it's just puzzling how you can go so up high in the mountain, at the top of the mountain, and you find fossils. And we know that this was covered by Bonneville Lake. And of course, if you go back a lot longer than 30,000 years, it used to be ocean. So we find a lot of aquatic creatures on top of the mountains. And this one fossil, and I have a really great one to show you guys. I'm going to show you in a second over here if you stick a little longer. And of course, if you find this interesting, just like this video. It's the first time I ever do a live, and I've been live for 12 minutes. Yay! That's definitely for a first time. I guess we're doing great over here. But there are fascinating things in these rocks. Okay, so I'll flip it here, see if we find anything. As you can see, there is also something over here. I don't know exactly what that is, but here's clear that we have this fossilized plants. And if you're curious to know where I find this, just let me know. I just said that earlier. I just mentioned where I found it. But you can ask questions and I'll answer you everything I can. I even tell you the location where you can find these in Utah. I'm gonna go to the next one now before I end this live. It doesn't look like there's anyone here watching, so I'm just talking to ghosts. Maybe someone will watch it at some point and will find this interesting. Here's a fossilized shell that we found. Look at this. Super, super cool. Well, anyways, um, if you are curious, just put a comment there. I'll tell you where I found this on this hike we went here in Utah. But there are many other places in the West Coast you can find fossils because this was covered by the ocean before. In Utah, it was covered by the Bonneville Lake. I wish you could focus better so you guys could see. Let me see if I get any closer. Yeah, no way it's gonna work. Okay, I'm gonna show you a fossil that's really, really impressive in just a moment over here. There's only one person watching this live, so whoever you are, I appreciate you for sticking around for this few seconds. Oh, now there's a second person watching, and we're talking about these fossils that I found while hiking in Utah. I have kids and a wife, and I have three kids. We love hiking. My in-laws have a property in the Tooele County in Utah, and in this property, we went on a hike and we found a lot of fossils on the hike. My son actually spotted a rock, and I think it was even this one. It says that the rock looks funny, so he grabbed it and it had this shell shape, right, as you can see here. But I'm about to show you one. We found dozens of raw fossils that day. But I'm going to show you one here in a second that is really, really nice fossil. I don't know exactly what it's called, but some type of crustaceous creature, and you can, if you know what it is, you let me know. But we found this while hiking here in Utah in the Tooele County, in actually my in-laws' property. So let me get the other one. I have a lot of these fossils, and not all shells. They're aquatic things. And here's a shell I'm going to show you next. So look over here. So my son was looking at the rocks. He saw this, and he thought it was pretty cool that this rock had this white in the middle. He flipped the rock, and here's what we found. Look on the other side of it. Look how it's covered by rocks over here, and it's clearly a shell of kinds. I wish I could just remove it from here, from this rock, because it's the only interesting thing with this rock. It's the most common thing we find in the mountain when we go on these walks or hikes with the kids. But we found this one here, and I have one to show you. It looks like an ancient or a prehistoric type of crawfish, and I'll bring it here in just a second. But these are loose rocks from this mountain in the Tooele County. So if you're curious, you can put in the comments, right? Hey, where is it at? If you are in Utah, you can totally go there, hike yourself. It's my in-laws' property, but the side of the mountain, anyone can walk there. And look at this. This is one of the fossils we found. But I have, several Home Depot buckets, those orange big buckets with rocks that I'm going to be showing you guys. I'm gonna go now to the next one, which to me is one of the most interesting of all. Okay, and it's this one over here. Um, I hope I can show it well. What I need is a magnifying glass to show you guys these fossils. Okay, so I am in Utah, even though you might notice my accent. I'm definitely not native to United States. So if you want to guess where I'm from in the comments, you can as well. But I've been here for the past 11 years, where I am happily married and I have 3 kids. But I want to show you it's some of the fossils we found while hiking. Okay, so here we go. This one here is a crustaceous creature. I forgot what it's called. Someone told me what it's called. But I have some other fossils I'm going to show you here in just a second. But look at this. I wish I could find a good angle here for you guys to see. Uh, is this good enough? I'm not sure. If I go too close, it gets blurry. Over here is almost what we're looking like. Well, yeah, I'm going to show you one that's easier to see on the camera because it's a bigger fossil. So let me go ahead and bring the other one over here. Okay, so here we go. This is some type of aquatic plant, right? That we found that fossilized in this rock. Actually, a bunch of it fossilized over here on this rock. And if you're here right now, you just got here. I found these rocks while hiking here in Utah, and I found a lot of fossils. So I'll bring a couple others here really quick. I know before you swipe and go to another video. But I hope you stick around for a second, just so you see some of these fossils. Anyways, I'm hitting really close to 20 minutes on this video. I will probably stop very soon. So I'll show all the fossils I brought here to my office really quick. So here's one of them, some type of aquatic creature that we found here in Utah, that fossilized. And anyone can find these in these hikes in the Tooele County. These are up in the mountain. So if you think Utah is a desert today, it wasn't a desert in the past. So let me show you something else. I'll bring all of them here. This is a fossilized type of clam or shell. You can clearly see the shape over here. I have some that are a little more clear that I'm going to show you in just a second. Just stick around so you can see a few more. And, drop a like for the video if you feel like it. I'm going to go show everyone, so stick around for a little longer. This, I think, is the first one I was showing earlier. You can see, I don't know what kind of creature this is. It's a type of, you know, what is it called? I don't, anyways. So let me bring some other ones over here before I end this live. So we saw this rock and we saw this over here, right? And I thought was interesting. And on the other side, there is like a shell that's fossilized over here. By the way, guys, these were found at the altitude of 7,000 feet above sea level. Okay, so let me go with the next one, and then I'll probably call it a day. This one over here. Look at this shell. Awesome shell. We saw this rock, nothing cool about it. My son saw this stripe and he's like, oh, look at this rock. And then we flipped it and we found this shell fossilized on the rock. My 8, then 7-year-old son, this was a few months ago that I collected all these rocks while hiking. So I have a lot of these fossils in my garage, and I'll be showing them if people are curious about them. Anyways, guys, I just want to say thank you for, whoever stayed here for a few seconds. I know that I think never had over 2 people live at once, but here's some of the fossils we found here in Utah while hiking, and we found a bunch of them. There's one person here. I'll show you one of the coolest one over here. Where is it? Oh, right here. I can't focus very well because it's super small, but it's right here. It's like a crawfish. And here we have some aquatic plants that got fossilized. Utah used to be covered by a massive or mega lake called Bonneville. And we have the remains of that lake today, right, with these fossils. But thank you for staying here, guys. If you're here still, please just give us a like. I really appreciate it. Thank you. How do I end the live now? Hmm. Oh, maybe I should be holding this on my hand to show some of these fossils. This is a really cool one. Right over here. Anyways, I appreciate for all of those that joined. And I hope to see you guys next time. Right there. Okay, how do I end a live? Do I hit the X buttons